Am I the butthole for not making dinner for my husband after he was rude to our son? My son, 13, has recently got into cooking and he's amazing at it. Usually when he was experimenting or making food for just himself he washed up. He started helping me out with meals, and 2 times a week now he cooks dinner by himself. My husband has been insisting he wash his own dishes up, but I usually just wind up doing them. I don't particularly like feeling like I'm doing nothing. 4 nights ago he sat me down and said I need to stop doing our son's chore. He made the mess so he cleans it. He shouldn't be getting away with it. I replied that while it was true for small, single-person meals, it doesn't work the same for family meals. He got huffy about it, at which point I said, why does he have to wash up, but I don't? At which point he got kind of quiet. He tried excusing his behavior, but each time there was a flaw and he basically huffed off. He came back a couple hours later and said something along the lines of, we have to make him realize how hard life can be, at which point I basically told him to F off. Here's where I may be the butthole. I implemented a new rule. You have to somehow be a part of dinner in order to eat it. So, for example, my son makes dinner and I wash the dishes. Therefore we both get to eat it. My husband was angered by this rule, and I replied by telling him to put his rubber gloves on and get cleaning. So far my son and I have had 3 amazing meals and my hub has left the house to go eat elsewhere. Our funds are separate so it has no effect on me. My son thinks it's pretty cool. He's always much preferred me over his father, and this bonding time is really important to him, but family think I'm being way too harsh, agreeing that he should do more chores. I disagree, but no one seems to be on my side, so I come to you, dear Reddit. Am I the butthole? He's always much preferred me over his father. You don't say. That's because his father is a butthole. The goal of parenting is to raise a child into a functioning adult member of society. The goal is not treat children like slave labor so they learn how goddamn hard life is. There is a lot of time to learn how hard life is. He needs people to model good behavior, stand up for him, and teach him basics of how to care for himself, his belongings, and his home when he leaves. You are doing that. You had his back when his dad was being a butthole to him. You stood for fairness, instead of letting someone come in and treat your son poorly specifically because he's a child. You're NTA, but your husband absolutely is. What gets me is that it actually is a thing that you should make your children do chores to teach them how the world works. But generally cooking for the whole family is one of those chores, and it certainly isn't how the world works for someone to have to clean the dishes for a group meal. The dude's got something in his head. But I don't know if it's a brain or not, honestly. Right? Mom doing the dishes after son cooks the meal is just a sign of respect and reciprocation. It shows that maintaining a family home takes all hands, and chores aren't things you give kids because you're mean. Original poster is handling this correctly. My rule was always to be one cooks, one cleans up. That didn't work out so great, but now my dishwasher and I have a happy, healthy relationship and there is less fighting and no fidelity issues. I'm jealous because my dishwasher blocks the junk drawer and the relationship has become kind of toxic, to be honest. But now all your junk gets aired out, which is probably healthier long-term than bottling, in this case drawer-ing, it all up. I don't know, sometimes it might be best to let sleeping junk lie. You never know what's going to happen if you start raw dogging it in strange drawers. Also, it shows him what to look for when and so actually cares about him, because they will help in some way versus the way dad is trying to teach, which is essentially use and abuse. That's the part the father has an issue with. She's treating a child with respect. He likely got dunked on when he was a kid, so now that he has one he thinks that it's reasonable to harm the kid. Yeah, the father is definitely the type to confuse respect with authority and not just treating people like they are worthwhile human beings. Reciprocation is the right word. It shows how appreciated it is to help clean up when you cook, and he'll probably do it gladly when his mom cooked for the family. It also shows that mom is always going to be there to support him when he tries to accomplish bigger projects, whereas dad will tell him to do it himself because life is hard. We had family dinner most nights growing up, and the rule was if you cooked dinner you didn't have to clean up, and everyone else, parents and kids, split up the rest of the jobs: dishes, cleaning the table, sweeping the floor, etc. Exactly this. The point of chores is to show children that it takes work to maintain your life and everyone has equal responsibility, to their abilities, to keep up the family life. My mom and I lived together for several years after I turned 18, and that's how we always did things. If she cooked, I washed dishes and vice versa. It's just fair. Exactly. Making your child do everything in a family home isn't teaching them. It's abuse. You're using them as free labor at that point. Realistically, no one should be doing everything or the vast majority of chores in a shared home. If you cook the meal, you don't have to clean up. If you didn't cook, you help clean up. The rule my mom always taught me was that whoever cooks doesn't have to clean. It doesn't matter who does as long as it isn't the chef, because they already did their part by, effing feeding everybody. This meant that most nights I did the dishes and cleaned the kitchen, but on the rare occasion I actually cooked, guess what? My mom did it. Because part of being an adult is treating other people fairly and not taking advantage of them, even and especially when you're in a position where it'd be easy. NTA, obviously. Your husband is being effing ridiculous, op. It's very interesting how the father is saying that the world can be hard when he contributes literally nothing to any part of eating. I don't get it. The world is hard, says the man who neither cooks nor cleans. Yeah, not to mention that when the son cooked for just himself, he always did the washing up for what he used, so it's not like he wasn't taught the concept of cleaning up after yourself. Husband is not only the butthole, he's also pretty dumb. A kid who is into cooking and can cook great meals at 13? Not only is that a major gain towards his future independence, but it's also a bonus for the parents as it lightens the chore load. 100%, when I was 13, I was learning how to cook and was so excited to get to cook family meals. It also meant that I wouldn't have to do the dishes, so there was that incentive. As an adult, I realized my mom was probably thinking, oh thank God, I get a break from cooking every effing night. NTA, your husband needs to know how hard life can be. Using his words against him. I like it. It sounds like you're carrying a lot of resentment to your husband, and want to dunk on him. While this might seem funny and cathartic, it really won't help anything. It'll just contribute to deteriorating your relationship. My advice is to just not bother. Nothing will be gained by snarking and sniping. Clearly you're both willing to let this conflict escalate. I think you should either get couples counseling and work on your marriage, or separate like responsible adults, because raising your son in a tense and angry home isn't going to do him any favors. Everyone sucks here except your son, who sounds cool. He's always preferred me over his father. Oh, honey, you're the butthole for making this a pissing contest. This is your child and his relationship with his dad you're talking about. And obviously his dad is being an butthole. Exactly. Original poster sounds so indifferent to their husband's feelings and parental relationship. This doesn't sound like a healthy marriage, and I worry the kid is being put between their parents' disagreements. I agree with not making the child do double chores and standing up for him rather than letting daddy hard-ass force him to do all the extra work. But the way original poster went about that and the way they're talking about it as if it has no effect on them or their child/family unit doesn't sit right with me at all. Everyone sucks here. I wouldn't consider someone's feelings valid if they're the kind of person that won't apologize, to the point that they literally just make up a nonsense. He needs to know life is hard to justify their opinion after they realize they were wrong, and that they'd been a jerk. It's childish, and children don't need to be taught to respect that kind of behavior either. That's a fair point. I think if husband is behaving atypically, original poster should have, without bringing the kid into anything, been like, hey, is there something bothering you about this situation I'm not seeing? And seen if there was anything they could talk out between them. But yeah, husband is giving off I like being in charge of things for the heck of it and will double down when I'm in the wrong vibes. That shouldn't be respected. I don't know, I feel like original poster is leaving out a lot of info about their family dynamic outside of this one incident. The way original poster went about that. What way is that? Asking her husband to be fair to their son, and to chip in with the rest of the family? The husband was so outraged by that proposition that he instead went out to eat on his own thrice this week already. Do you not see that Op's indifference now is likely a product of her husband's previous treatment of their family? I agree, a better rule is we take turns, cooking or cleaning. He's always preferred me over his father. Oh, honey, You're the butthole for making this a pissing contest. It's not a pissing contest if it's simply a statement of fact. My guess is that this isn't the first time dad has been an absolute flapdoodle to son. This is your child and his relationship with his dad you're talking about. And moms can't make a child's father be a decent human being or a good dad. And if this is indicative of his normal behavior, dad's already started closing doors on his relationship with his son. That's not on mom. Source: I was that kid. I was also that kid and now barely have a relationship with my father. And there's another reply here saying that the mother should be making more of an effort to help the child better his relationship with his father instead of relishing and being the favorite. Well, that's what my mom did. Tried to make it my responsibility, when I was in middle/high school, to have a better relationship with my father and pushed me to be the one to make the effort when my father wouldn't ask about my day or anything. And that only made my relationship with her worse as well, because at the end of the day, nothing could make my relationship with my father better except for him making an effort and not treating me like crap. And in my mind, my mother pushing me to have a better relationship was her condoning his crafty behavior. To anyone who thinks this kid should have a better relationship with his father with or without the mother's intervention, try being that kid first. What a stupid place for your mom to put the anxiety about your dad being a crafty father. WTF were you supposed to do? Charm him? Do a little tap dance? I was also often the kid that my dad really would just rather wasn't in the room. I reminded him of someone in his family who made him feel small. It really shapes your sense of what you have to offer. I'm sorry you had to go through that. I'll be using flapdoodle at every available opportunity, likely for the next month or more. So thank you. I disagree. It's not a making it a pissing content when the boy's father is objectively a bad father. Being a butthole to your kid to show him how hard life can be, as if life doesn't do that all by itself, makes him a crafty parent, and his mom being aware of that and sticking up for him is a good thing. You don't think that's stretching it a bit? Just explaining that the son likes her more than him is hardly equivalent to her making it a pissing contest, it's just an observation. Most kids prefer one of their parents over the other. Also, writing "oh honey" in a comment like that is so obviously an attempt at degrading the person you're talking to. Not a good look. Not the butthole, but why are you still married to this man? You clearly don't like him much, your son doesn't like him, you have your own finances, what's holding you there? I really hope you see this because I feel mad now lol. Your son will find out how difficult life is on his own, and it is not the job of a father to do so. If life is difficult already, which it is for everyone, then purposefully making it worse for someone even if it's his son is a dick move. It seems that your relationship with your husband has taken strain though, and this is a path to divorce. I hope you can recognize this and hopefully try talk it out if you still love him and want to be with him. If not, then move on. Well done for being supportive of your son's cooking. I got laughed at by my dad when I said I wanted to go to cooking class. Sounds like y'all have way bigger problems than dishes after a meal. Might want to get to the bottom of it and take it to relationship advice. Yeah, I'm tempted to call this an everyone sucks here. Op's whole attitude just makes this whole thing seem like a broken home waiting to happen. I feel bad for the kid having to see his parents go at it like this. I blinked when she casually said he goes off to eat elsewhere. I totally support her rule that everyone must be involved in the home for it to continue running smoothly, but you're defeating the purpose of your not caring for everyone in the unit. Yeah, he goes out to eat alone rather than help. And original poster isn't going to let him eat with them. Seems like they are both willing to die on this hill. Pretty sad to see. He can offer to help with the dishes, or dinner. It's not like original poster is gatekeeping the chores, he's deciding not to help and eat elsewhere. He can set the table. He'd rather not do that. It also appears he doesn't really do any chores according to Op. So I disagree here that everyone sucks here. Everyone does something around the house, period. He can accept it and swallow his pride, or die on the hill. Frankly, his behavior is childish when concerning his son. Where did original poster say she won't let husband eat his own food at home? Not attacking with that question, I just didn't see it. Are these people teenagers? How do adults conduct themselves like this on a daily basis? Not to validate the passive-aggressive tit for tat, well, if he can't get out of dish duty by cooking the meal, then you're not allowed to eat if you don't help. above, but let me tell you. Most adults never grow up. A lot stay in that emotionally immature spot, and will do the dumbest crap just to piss on your parade. I realized the above when, wait for it, a 35-year-old grandmother, yes, she bragged how her baby was a teen mom and followed in her footsteps, tried to get HR to fire me for favoritism because I accepted the fast food lowest manager position at $9/hour, and she had been holding out on accepting the promotion because she wanted it to be $12/hour or something. And this was in 2012. We all know, if you don't like the wages a job offers, they find someone else who does. It was my fault for wanting a nearly $2/hour raise as a married 26-year-old. We all got bills, but some people genuinely never grow up. Met loads of other buttholes since, but they're not as memorable because I knew better than to expect adults to act mature. I'm that butthole's age now, and I'm proud to say I hate the system, not the players. I totally support her rule that everyone must be involved in the home for it to continue running smoothly, but you're defeating the purpose of your not caring for everyone in the unit. That becomes an oxymoron when one of the members is a moron themselves. This guy is going off about how the kid needs to do more work during dinner that the kid is cooking for him. And his lazy ass would rather pout and refuse to lift a finger himself. For the comment above yours, is it sad that homes break and people split sometimes? Sure. But that is not something you can just assign blame out for equally all the time. It's possible that original poster isn't telling us other things and misleading, but based on what's in the post, this guy is trash. The purpose of a home is that of a commune. Everyone must work however much they can and reap rewards collectively. Do what you can and be given what you need. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.